Patrick Sharon from Allsville.
Steve Wiegand, Allsville.
Luke Muir, Allsville.
Did you tell us how the origin of Allsville then?
Luke and I started a band in high school and then kind of fell apart. And that band played with Steve's band a bunch. And then we joined up and a bunch of other guys. So we had like a bunch of different lineups, but we're the 3 original members left. Tonight's actually, we reunited the original lineup tonight. So
The new originals.
The new original, sorry.
96 or 5?
No, 95. It was our first practice ever, July 4th, 95.
That's right. Yeah. And actually, I don't know if it was a Halloween show, but this is like the 17-year anniversary of our first show ever.
Yeah. 17-year anniversary?
Yeah. Which is weird because I feel like I'm 17, but whatever. Well, Luke lives on the West Coast, so we're like, I mean, really the only way we even do stuff, like as far as new stuff goes, is just through the modern technology. We like send tracks out. So as far as new stuff goes, that's the only way that happens. And shows is just like once and whenever we can come up with an excuse to.
That was our North American tour of it.
Yeah.
2 show American tour.
Yeah, basically that's it. I mean, the good thing is, like what's great about it is that we can, get enough money at the shows to pay for Luke's plane ticket to come home and hang out. And
that's it.
That's basically like.
We're really using the band as a method for a big hangout time.
That's basically our MO nowadays is like come up with a convenient time that everybody's together or everybody can get together, try to book a show or two and pay for Luke's plane ticket, and then like this week has been more about like going to hay rides, and we went to the Eagles game and stuff like that. Then we were like, should we practice? Nah, we'll be all right.
We're gonna practice tomorrow.
It's all good.
The show's tonight. We'll practice tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
Energy.
I think our problem was that we could never really keep a lineup together very long. Like we would get like a real head of steam and get things going in our direction, and then something would happen and we would lose a member or two, and then spend probably too much time. Like looking back on it now, it's like, geez, man, every time we practice, like we digitally record it and then like send each other tracks. It's like, man, it would have been so much easier. Like we could have saved years if we were doing that instead of just.
I wonder all the time where we went wrong, and besides lineup changes. There's like an interview in Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2 where someone's interviewing some like Megadeth dude. It might even be Dave Mustaine, but they're like, do you have any suggestions for kids starting bands? And I would say this: definitely get some sort of management.
Yeah.
Because now 5 knuckleheads.
Yeah.
In
We're
the
good
band.
at playing shows and writing songs. But
We could barely do that, but definitely. Definitely get a damn manager, get a booking agent.
Yeah.
Something.
We just.
Yeah, we just, but I mean, it's like those kind of things. Like I think at every turn of the road, like we did what we thought was the right decision at the time. We just tried to keep it rolling, and looking back on it, there's probably 100 things you wish you did differently, but at the same time, you can only do what you think is the right decision.
Everyone that ever played a show has delusions of grandeur, thinking they would be huge, and we got really bigger than we probably should have, and I mean,
it's possible.
We're playing tonight and we're playing tomorrow, and we're all fucking 36. So I mean, that's more than we could ask for.
Yeah.
Shit.
We definitely weren't into like what I guess was like typical like hardcore or metal at the time. It was just I don't know. Like Luke and I had, Luke wanted to do something like Groundwork, and I wanted to do something like I don't know, like shellac. I was really into shellac. Like just, I mean, we all loved like what was hardcore, what was metal at the time, but we all had these like peripheral, like Steve was real into Skinny Puppy and stuff like that.
When we were starting in '95, it was you were into like Primus kind of, and
I mean there was definitely
we were into like Meat Man.
Yeah, there was all that. Yeah,
shit,
I mean there was and then so like we weren't like all right, forget all that stuff. Let's be a hardcore band. We were like, well, let's just be this band that's just everything. Like it's just whatever, like.
Then you listen to 7-inch, and it's really not. I don't even know where we got heavy because that 7-inch isn't heavy.
It's maybe a shit.
You want to talk any more shit?
Can we rewind it?
Can we start this interview? No, but I mean, like, I think it really got together, like, probably a year or two into the band where it was just like, all right, we started figuring out what we were pretty good at. And I guess it was more so like what was originally called metalcore, like that was really good stuff, like Dead Guy and Bloodlet and stuff like that, where it was like the turmoil of those bands that we loved, and we started kind of going in that direction, and it was like, we can do that like we sort of got good enough to do that right as that stuff sort of took off and it just merged, and we were like, all right, like we're part of that.
And we saw Neurosis.
And we went to see Shiner sees Neurosis.
Yeah, the three of us.
$5 at the truck.
That show
changed everything.
life altering.
We were like, yeah, that's probably what we should be aspiring to, more so than just whatever. More so than Primus. We were about to be recording Archetype, and we had a new drummer. It was after our first drummer change, and so we had really just enough songs to do the record that we were trying to do. So we didn't want to use any of those songs. So we were just like, let's go find 4 random songs.
While we're doing this.
Yeah. And so we just came up with like an old song that we never recorded, a song from the 7-inch, a cover, and just whatever we had laying around. And that's and I'm not even sure, we were actually talking about this on the way down, like not even sure how we ended up meeting with the Bad Luck guys, like just in general, like we started hanging out with them.
I got a tattoo from Jay.
Okay.
That's how I started kind of talking to him.
Oh,
and I think
you got the tattoo, and then you told me about it.
And then
we
all were getting cover-ups because we had horrible tattoos. And Jay covered up mine, then Bobby's did yours.
It's covered up 2 of mine, yeah. Then he did my whole back.
I think Nick Pasetta and Nick Fantastic were like original guitarists, so we were hanging out with those guys in Christ and stuff.
That's how it all went down. And we played with Snail Trail all the time, we didn't know them.
So they were like, you want to do this thing? And we're like, well, we have 4 songs, so I mean, if you want us to do 4 songs, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And that was basically it.
Came out really, really good. Yeah, we were really happy.
It's funny, like, you know, I mean, Philadelphia has been really great to us just in general. Like, I mean, some of the best shows we've ever done. But, like, really, like, further out in the state was kind of onto us. Like the first shows I remember playing where I'm like, yo, I think people are starting to get us. We're out like Lansdale and like Phoenixville and stuff like that. So it was like, it kind of started out there. And then our boy Mark Meebus, who I think saw us out there, was like, fuck man, those guys haven't played in a while. I'm just going to go get the Kill Time one night and do a show for him. And then he's played that. And Tony Pointless started putting us on shows over at the Stalag. So, like, but like we never lost sight of the fact that like out there, like I think one of the last shows we played before we went on a pretty long hiatus was out at the FW out in Lansdale. It was just like, yeah, like that. That part of the state definitely got it. Yeah, like probably a little before Philly even did.
Out of this area.
You know, currently I really liked. It's funny you mentioned like area events because I saw Animal House out at the Note like 2 months ago. I was like, yeah, those dudes have it together. Actually, probably a little longer than that. But like as far as underrated, just Minor Times were underrated. They, you know, when they got back together, it was just like kind of a tepid thing. I was like, what the fuck? This is the best band. Like, you know, I almost like angry. Like, how can people give a shit about us? And like, you know, Turmoil, that's the band they should be like, fuck us on This Is Hardcore. Get fucking Turmoil with Gula back on This Is Hardcore, please. They were the greatest. I mean, they were just, some of the first shows we ever saw down at the First Unitarian were Turmoil.
Oh, yeah. And it was just like Turmoil, Dead Guy, Ink and Dagger.
God,
disgusting.
Yeah, it was just ridiculous.
Be kissing goodbye, too.
We would walk home and just be like, why are you trying? What the fuck are we doing here?
I was like I said, the first 5 shows.
Yeah, that was like, I think probably the best show we ever did. I was geeked out to play the Troc. I mean, the Troc is a venue I think a lot of people like.
I still work there.
I'm thinking that the
Troc
was.
I worked there part-time, yeah.
The Troc was for bands that made it.
Right. We definitely.
were like,
I mean, we went to so many shows there.
I mean, E-Town is like, fuck, I love E-Town, but like they're kind of, they are what they are. You know what I mean? They're just like they're E-Town. They're not really like what I would probably go home and listen to a lot, but they're fun. So when they went on, I was like, fuck this, man. You know, when I was a fucking hood rat, I saw Rage Against the Machine and Quicksand at the Troc. And I saw Tom Morello like stage potato and watch all of Quicksand set. So I was like, I don't give a fuck who's opening. I'm gonna sit there and stage potato and watch it like this. And so I watched the whole E-Town set like this, and I was like, all right, I gotta go.
Yeah, it was cool.
I think it's better that we are where we are at now in life to come back and play every once in a while because well, it's better for us.
Yeah, and I mean, it just makes more sense. I don't think we could really do anything more. So it's like, I think we're at a point in our lives where it's easier to be content with what you have, as opposed to when you're like full-time active band, you're always pushing and trying to get to a next level and getting pissed off at where you're at and being like, why are we on this stupid show, or why are we on this fucking town, or whatever. Like now it's like, well, this is tonight. Like this is it. This is the night I'm going to be thinking about for the next 6 months, and Friday night, and if we don't have fun tonight, it ain't coming back for a while. So it's a
Everyone,
choice.
everyone could be the last one.
Also, to plan out these shows in advance, it gives us something to look forward to while you're at work, thinking like, oh, I can't wait till 3 months from now when we get to play DC Dobbs with Bad Luck.
And it's like for Luke, it's like a trip home for him to see people, and for us, it's like a vacation to have Luke home. So